Last Airbender live event is here. This mysterious iceberg has finally reached the island, starting this huge live event that will take place at the end of the season. And this isn't the very first time Fortnite has done a huge build-up for an event. To understand this, let's go all the way back to Chapter 1. I give away a free skin to my subscriber every week, so please subscribe. And if you want to help me out, use code SMJM and like this video. The summer of 2017, people start to notice that this one star getting bigger and brighter every day. People soon realized that this wasn't a star, this was in fact a meteoroid headed right towards the island. And before the end of Chapter 1, Season 3, we start to see meteoroid shower, and every day for 2 weeks the shower kept getting worse and worse until the beginning of Chapter 1, Season 4. We realized that this was in fact our first season build-up because a giant meteoroid crashed onto the Fortnite island. Turns out that wasn't a meteoroid, it was a spaceship used by the visitor, and he created a giant rift in the sky, which led us to our biggest build-up for a season. Things started to disappear on the Fortnite island just randomly, until one day these things that disappeared start showing up in the real life. This Durburger showed up on a desert. A bunch of llamas showed up in different major cities around the world. Turns out this was a build-up to Chapter 1, Season 5, Worlds Collide, when we saw different people from different realities show up on the island, and that's exactly what happened when this robot AIM showed up on the island. He was partially frozen, and that is because in the distance there was a giant iceberg headed right towards the island. The end of Chapter 1, Season 6, this iceberg kept getting closer and closer till the beginning of Chapter 1, Season 7, it became part of the Fortnite island, bringing locations like Happy Hamlet, Frosty Flights, and everyone's favorite, Polar Peaks. In the dungeon of Polar Peaks, we find this mysterious man locked up. Turns out that man was the Fire King, and during a mid-season update, he escaped the prison. The last month of that season, we start to see Wailing Woods slowly burning. Turns out the Fire King was summoning the volcano, and that was the start of a brand new season. But what shocked everyone was what was happening at Mega Mall. People noticed some portals start to show up. Everyone was convinced this was a build-up to the big Stranger Things event. That was confirmed when this shop from the show appeared on the island. Finally, we got the Stranger Things collaboration with a Demogorgon bunch of skins arriving in Fortnite. But this wasn't the big moment this chapter, it was what happened in Season X that made everyone shocked. Throughout the sea, we noticed the island was changing. Zero Point was exposed, and we start to see mini events like Taco Dance at Greasy Grove, Zombie Apocalypse at Retail Row, No Build Zone in Tilted Town. And at the final few weeks before the end of the season, we see a rocket appear at Dusty Depot, and that rocket ended up blowing up the Zero Point, creating a giant black hole. Fortnite went down for 3 days, and this was obviously the beginning of Chapter 2. Probably the biggest build-up to a season that people consider to be one of the best seasons we've ever had in Fortnite. Starts in the middle of the island when we see golden furnitures appear in this cabin, and then we start to see in real life billboards with a phone number. If you call that number, you would hear a voicemail saying they are recruiting agents. This turned out to be a build-up to Chapter 2 Season 2, where we were introduced to characters such as Midas and his friends. Midas creates a doomsday device which leads to a tsunami. This tsunami gets bigger and bigger. We even see sharks inside of this tsunami. Turns out this was a build-up to Season 3 Chapter 2. There is a huge flood. Most of the island is underwater, and we have sharks. Everyone was enjoying Season 3 until, out of the blue, we we see this mysterious hammer appear on the island. This is obviously Thor's hammer. And then we start to see Captain America appear. And at the end of the season, we see these mysterious symbols appear on the ground. This was a build-up to Chapter 2, Season 4. This was the Marvel season. This season, we get a huge Galactus show up on the island, and he exposes the 0 point yet again. The Foundation had to seal the 0 point in the spire, which attracted a lot of evil people. In fact, this season, we start to see crop circles appear on the island. We get mysterious radio broadcast from Mari telling us UFO invasions. Also, content creators were sent recordings of crop circles, and this conspiracy turns into reality when we start to see people getting abducted by aliens. This was the build-up to Chapter 2, Season 7. Giant UFO mothership is here. Dr. Sloan manages to destroy the mothership, and hundreds of cubes now ends up on the Fortnite island. Whole of the season, the cube move towards the center of the island. There is a giant pyramid, and the cube queen shows up. We can tell this is a build-up to something big, and we were right because this was the season finale. The island flips, and we go to Chapter 3. We all think in Chapter 3 we are free from Imagine Order until we start to get this massive earthquakes, certain locations, and then just out of the blue we start to see drills appear from the ground. This was in fact the Imagine Order literally drilling through the island to get to this chapter. This build-up leads us to Chapter 3, Season 2. Battle between the Io and the Seven leads to the Imagine Order getting destroyed, but in the meantime, this mysterious creature, who's believed to be part of the lost reality, is slowly taking over the island. We start to see various roots appear on different locations, and also we see this really creepy commercial teasing us Chrome. Also, content creators were getting cereal box with Chrome cereal inside. This was the beginning of Chapter 3, Season 4, and that creature was Harold. Of the season, Harold takes over the island, covering it with a Chrome, and destroys the island, taking us to a brand new chapter, Chapter 4, Season 1. This season, we are introduced to new characters like Jeno and Rift Warden, and they have been given a task by someone called the Nothing to build a rift gate. Throughout the season, we helped this person build this rift gate, hoping we can save the Seven. At the end of the season, the rift gate slowly starts destabilizing, and it explodes, creating a rift in the sky. This was a build-up to a brand new season, Chapter 4, Season 2. We see big locations like Mega Mall, and everything is going great until we start to see earthquakes yet again, but this time instead of drills, we start to see roots appear on the island. Earthquake keeps getting bigger and bigger. This was actually a build-up to a brand new season, Season 3, which was jungle themed. Yet thick rainforest, huge temples, and in one of the temples we find this mysterious ancient telescope. Throughout the season, Dr. Sloan slowly builds this telescope, and this was in fact our build-up to our next season, because when the telescope starts working, we start to see the circular object heading right towards the island. Then content creators start to see items disappearing from their room. This picture is left behind with a note signed Kato Thorne. And this build-up leads to our new season and our final season of this chapter, Chapter 4, Season 4. Kato Thorne shows up with a time machine. This time machine starts destabilizing throughout the season, and then content creators start to see objects from Chapter 1 show up in their back garden. Turns out this was in fact our teaser for our Fortnite OG season. Here we are in Chapter 5. We see this giant arm show up on the island. This Pandora's box is chained to its arm. Everyone is told not to break this chain and open this box, but what do Fortnite players do? Exactly what they're told not to do. They open the box in less than 2 days. Pandora's box is open, and Hades, the underworld, and all of the evil creatures on the island currently is here. Also, Zeus is here as well, and he is not happy. He wants to destroy everyone living on this island for opening that box. To defeat him and Hades, it looks like we are starting to see different characters appear on the island, just like in Chapter 2, Season 5, when we had hunters arrive. For example, Aang from The Last Bender is here, and I think if we want to defeat Zeus and Hades, we will need a lot more people, like for example, the 7. I'll keep you guys updated, so please leave a like, subscribe, and use code SMJM.